If I could read my my little, Madam Mayor. Are the mics on? Yep, we're on. This is a special notice that pursuant to Executive Order N-29-20 executed by the Governor of California on March 17th, 2020, and as a response to mitigating the spread of coronavirus, also known as COVID-19, the meeting of the City Council scheduled for Tuesday, September 15th, 2020 at 5 p.m. will allow members of the public to participate and address the Paramount City Council during the open session of the meeting via live stream and or by teleconference only. And with that, I will turn it over to Mayor Lemons to start the meeting. Mayor Lemons?
Thank you, Mr. Moreno. I'm going to call us to order, and we'll start with roll call of council members, please.
Councilmember Aguayo,
I'm here.
Councilmember Guillen,
Here.
Councilmember Quer Stallings,
Here.
Vice Mayor Olmos, here. Mayor Lemons.
Here. Okay, tonight we're going to start with recognition of the City of Paramount's 2020 retirees. Tonight we have the one public presentation, and it's going to recognize the 4 individuals who have retired from the city this year. We have a new program to honor retirees that we are launching this year. All new retirees starting in 2020 will receive a thank you card signed by the mayor and the city council. Those with 5 to 10 years of service will be recognized at a city council meeting, given a certificate, and their role in the organization will be described. Those with 10 to 20 years will also be given a commemorative city plaque. And if they have been with the city for 20 or more years, they will receive a personalized Paramount Street sign in addition to everything else that I've mentioned. Normally, these presentations would be done each month that the retiree does actually retire. But this year, of course, we've had challenges, so we are catching up tonight by honoring 4 former employees who retired in 2020. They are not able to join us. I understand that they may be watching this broadcast from the comfort of their own homes, as they enjoy a well-deserved retirement, so we are recognizing the following. Enrique Garcia. Enrique became a full-time employee in 1980 as a maintenance worker in the landscape division of the Public Works Department. For the last 15 years, he was a maintenance supervisor. Enrique had a positive effect on countless individuals here over time by providing caring and thoughtful professional mentorship. Next, we have Tony Pena. Tony started his career in the Community Services and Recreation Department in 1990 as a neighborhood counselor in the GRIP program. Tony counseled thousands of young people on the importance of staying out of gangs. His work is one of the reasons the city's gang numbers have declined substantially. In 2014, Tony became a recreation supervisor, which added special events, star after-school sites, and more to his normal duties. Tony faithfully served the city for more than 29 years. Next is Rogelio Hernandez. Rogelio served his 32-year career in the landscape division as a maintenance worker. His exceptional skills, his vibrant green thumb, made our city and our parks look as beautiful as they do. Last but not least, we honor Ray Morones. As the self-proclaimed hardest worker in Paramount, Ray served the city for over 31 years, starting in 1989 as a maintenance worker in the landscape division before becoming the city's warehouse attendant and courier. Ray always went over and above to help however he could and was eager to participate at all community events. Whether dressing up as Uncle Sam, a cumbia dancer, or others, he was enthusiastic and his presence having great fun with the residents. He also did dances for the employees known as Ray's famous birthday dance. We will miss his humor and his cheer for what he brought to the workplace. Congratulations to each of these fine staff members who gave so much to the city, and best wishes to them in their retirement. I was a recipient of one of Ray's birthday dances, and it's extremely memorable, forever ingrained in my mind.
It's locked in your mind, huh?
Okay. With that, we'll have public comment updates.
Yes, Madam Mayor. For the September 1st City Council meeting, we have three public comments that required some follow-up that had requests. The first one was from Mr. Alejandro Yanez, and he would like to know the city's status for installing handball courts in the city. As a result of this, city staff has explored this request from Mr. Yanez on several occasions. Staff determined costs to install courts at Village Park. We've developed a set of construction plans for these courts. We've procured a grant writer to apply for grant funds to construct these courts. We submitted an application for grant funding to the state. Unfortunately, we did not get that grant. And we piloted a program for 2 months at the Roosevelt handball courts to gauge community interest in handball. Due to the low turnout and the pandemic, handball programming was temporarily discontinued at Roosevelt Elementary School. Staff is continuing to seek out grant opportunities to help fund handball, and we will continue to monitor the community's appetite for this recreational program. Next is Mr. Ramiro Bernal, and Mr. Bernal would like the city to install a sidewalk on the west side of Texaco Avenue along Salute Park for pedestrians. In response to this request, we have the following. City staff will explore the costs to conduct a comprehensive study to determine the feasibility of this request. Just so you know, such a large capital project would include preparing a conceptual design, developing plans, determining construction costs, considering the removal of 36 mature trees, relocating the fence line at Salute Park, and gaining a better understanding for the necessity for a sidewalk, given that a sidewalk already exists on the east side of Texaco Avenue. Staff has contacted Mr. Bernal to provide him with this information. And lastly, we have Ms. Raquel de Casas, and she submitted her public comment through email. And Ms. de Casas would like to know how the Unity in the Community Planning Committee was chosen and requests that racial injustice educators be part of the committee. The Unity in the Community discussions was established in 2016 by Pastor Grady Jones of New Commandment Baptist Church. This effort was intended to build relationships between the community and law enforcement in the wake of a tide of police shootings on a national level. In 2020, in response to growing tensions surrounding police relations, the city once again reached out to Pastor Jones to consider rehosting Unity in the Community discussions. The city recommended to Pastor Jones that a planning committee be established and be made up of local residents. Suggestions of residents were given to Pastor Jones to be part of the planning committee. Committee members were ultimately approved by Pastor Jones and other committee members. All future committee members will be selected by the existing committee. City staff has forwarded Ms. de Casas' request for future members to the committee at their Gmail email address. And with that, that concludes my public comment updates, Madam Mayor.
And thank you, Mr. Moreno. We're going to go to public comments now, and the first caller that we're going to take is going to be former Mayor Tom Hansen, who is going to give us a Vector report.
Good evening, Mr. Hansen. This is the Paramount City Council. We're all listening to you, and you're live before them.
Oh, okay. Well, good afternoon, Mayor, and the rest of the council, and of course all the staff too. Hope everyone is well. I just thought I'd give a little quick, short report from our last Sector Control Board meeting last week on mosquito abundance in West Nile virus, so on and so forth. And I know we got a lot of other stuff going on with COVID, and maybe people don't want to hear it, but it is kind of important. Mosquito abundance for August continued to be 264 compared to 234 in the high activity year of 2017. Therefore, the overall risk for West Nile human infection in August was on par with 2018, which was well below 2017, indicating that they've made good progress towards a milder overall season. The mosquito season should be starting to dwindle down probably toward the end of next month. If anyone has problems with mosquitoes, they can still call the Greater Los Angeles County Vector Control District, and they will have someone come out and inspect property, so on and so forth, and do any treatment that might be necessary. Their number is 562-944-9656. And they have a website also, www.glacved.org. And I'm so sure if people didn't get that they can always call City Hall and they will have those numbers for them. So it's a pleasure talking to anybody. I'm glad to see that you're back in the City Council chambers holding your meetings, and hopefully before too long the public will be able to attend in person too. So that concludes my report. Everybody stay well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Hansen. John, is the vector control number part of the city app?
I'd have to check. I don't know. Let me look into that. If not, we can add that. That's definitely something that we can.
Yeah, mosquitoes seem to be year-round anymore.
They do. I know.
Yeah.
It just overlaps. So.
And maybe even, instead of putting vector control, if we're going to put underneath it mosquitoes, control,
yeah,
just
something
so
like that.
people will know.
For sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
they're looking to. Okay, we have a caller? Or
We do. We have a total of 3 other public comments that are going to be phoned in, and then we have 0 email public comments at this point.
Yes, the first caller we'll get online is Mr. Alejandro Yanez, who wants to speak just on general comments. 1 second, please. Good evening, Mr. Yanez. This is the City of Paramount calling for your public comment request for the City Council meeting. You're being broadcast live now. We'll give you a notice when you have 20 seconds left, and your time starts now.
Thank you, and good afternoon, ladies of the City of Paramount. I'd like to start off with expressing my prayers and well wishes to the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department. As a Hispanic Mexican American in the City of Paramount, we stand with the Sheriff's Department. That by no means is acceptable. We rebuke that type of action that is being seen across our country and across the news. It's unfortunate what's going on. We really want to show our support for the Sheriff's Department, Lakewood Sheriff's Department, and all the people that protect our city so well. Keep up the good work. With that being said, what started that whole issue is the discrimination of one group of people by another group of people. It causes anger. It causes resentment. When you feel one person is treating you unfairly, it upsets you, and that's exactly how handball players feel. The discrimination that we felt by having to urinate outside. Other residents of the City of Paramount had the benefit of urinating inside the gym and had access to the restrooms. It's unfortunate that our city leaders decided that it would be a good idea to lock the doors and discriminate against us, have us urinate or not have the same access as the senior citizens do in their senior center. And you just wouldn't like the feeling. Living here as long as I don't like the feeling of being discriminated. And I wholeheartedly feel that. And it was posted that when not go out and look for a place at Village Skate Park. I did that. I had to go out and spend my time to go find a place that fit where we would fit with handball. At no time did the Park and Recreation go out this way to go find a place for us. I did. I had to ride around the whole entire city to find a place to put our handball courts back because I feel it's the right thing to do, Miss Mayor. You said yourself you didn't want the courts next to the school. Now you want us on a school? Well, you're contradicting yourself. I don't want to go further and get into negative comments. Thank you for the job that you're doing. Continue to stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Yanez. Next caller.
Hello,
Good evening. This is the City of Paramount calling for Gurdeep Kaur.
that's me.
I'm calling you regarding your request for public comment for the City Council meeting. You're being broadcast live to the City Council, and I'll give you notice when you have 20 seconds left. Your time starts now.
Thank you. Good evening, council members. This is Gurdeep Kaur. I'm calling in again after yet another weekend of tragedy and more crisis. In this time, it feels like it's crisis upon crisis, and I hope our leadership finds the capacity in their hearts and in their plans to rise to this occasion, to have compassion for everybody who is suffering now, to have compassion for Andres Guardado, who was innocently gunned down because corrupt sheriffs were trying to initiate into a police gang. I hope we find compassion for Dijon Kizi, who was an innocent cyclist who was gunned down for simply biking on the wrong side of the street. I hope we find compassion for the journalists who are being intimidated, wrongfully arrested, and harassed for reporting on the sheriff's actions. And I hope we find compassion for the two deputies that were attacked this weekend for simply doing their duties to our community. And I hope our leadership does not take or follow the example that our president set, his divisive example, using vilifying language to use tragedies in our community, like what happened in Compton, to divide us. I hope that we can rise to the challenge to work on a deep and complicated problem that exists in our society. It is a hard problem, and we need strong, smart leaders, and we need creative new solutions, because the old efforts are not working. Again, more policing does not make our community safer. Breonna Taylor's family just agreed to a $12 million settlement for the innocent killing of their daughter. That $12 million settlement is about equal to the entire public safety budget for Paramount. I wonder how much the settlement will be for Andres Guardado's death. I wonder how much the settlement will be for Dijon Kizi's wrongful murder. We need intelligent, progressive leadership. And you, as our
Ms. Carr, you have
representative,
20 seconds
have a
left.
duty to rise to that occasion, to meet this moment. And we trust that you will be able to do that. Thank you.
Thank you for your call. Next caller.
Hello?
Good evening. This is the City of Paramount calling for Jaime Lopez.
This would be me.
Hi, Mr. Lopez. I'm contacting you regarding your request for public comment to the City Council. You're being broadcast live now, and I'll give you notice when you have 20 seconds left. Your time starts now.
Dear Paramount residents, I will continue to emphasize my questions and will remain in control of how my asking of those questions is being framed. I will not have my questions mischaracterized or misunderstood. At every meeting since July, I've asked our council members and our city manager to each publicly state whether they support Black Lives Matter. In addition to answering that question, I have also asked each individual to share anything they've read about this movement to give their community a sense of their knowledge about this issue. One council member tenuously expressed support back in July, but no one sitting on the dais today has clearly stated as much on public record. There is more to discuss for sure, but these have been my first two questions. At the last meeting, the mayor focused only on my mentioning of books when I asked what they've read about these issues, and I specifically said preferably books. She focused on the word books and proceeded to characterize my question as condescending. Let's not get this narrative twisted. I am asking to know where our leadership stands regarding this social justice issue. I think these are questions deserving of an answer. As someone who was raised in extreme poverty in this city and is currently pursuing a doctorate degree at USC, I have always been hyper aware of not using my education to punch down at individuals, including those who at times might not be the most informed. I have called 7 of the 9 cities in the 40th Congressional District asking these same questions and have obtained some straightforward answers, including a few that were made with a level of honesty and humility that we deserve here. If anyone wants transcripts of the questions I've asked of the Paramount City Council at previous meetings, including transcripts of their responses or transcripts of the responses I've received from other cities, please reach out to me at jaime.israel.lopez@gmail.com. And I'll provide a detailed account of my attempts to hold our leadership accountable for expressing their stance on this issue. For the record, it is entirely possible to pray for the lives of wounded deputies and still be unequivocally in support of Black Lives Matter. I am hoping that by calling my questions condescending, you are not using that tactic as a way to either hide your ignorance or simplify the issue or distract residents from the fact that you still have not provided a straight answer. There are many more issues I'd like to address, but first, I'd like to know where you stand regarding Black Lives Matter, plain and simple. I yield my time.
Thank you for your call.
Madam Mayor, we do have one more that just came in.
Hello?
Good evening. This is the City of Paramount calling for Andrew Mondragon.
Yes.
Hi, I'm contacting you regarding your request for public comment at the Paramount City Council meeting. You're being broadcast live now. I'll give you notice when you have 20 seconds left. Your time starts now.
Thank you. Good evening, city members. You have to excuse me. I didn't really have time to prepare anything today. In fact, I was actually debating whether or not to call. Unfortunately, people have work and they don't have time to be involved in the community. But I'm glad I'm calling. I'm glad that I'm making the time, and I hope others listening to this will spread the idea of being involved is what creates change in the community. But like I said, I'm calling again with a heavy heart. A heavy heart because, once again, there's been tragedy in our community, near our community. And unfortunately, 2 sheriff deputies were shot, and it's very tragic. But if anything, we should be able to take this as a sign of frustration of a marginalized group, their frustrations, their hopelessness that they feel against this system that has obviously been failing them. They feel like they have no way out, and unfortunately it comes out in violence. And I in no way condone violence. I in no way condone actions of that man. And it's a tragedy, like I said. But I think now, more than ever, Paramount should be rising up to the occasion as a leader
among these neighboring communities and allocate funding towards housing, towards education, towards the homelessness, and help prop up and help these marginalized groups. I think Paramount needs to step up as a leader in this role. That's all I want to say. I yield my time. Thank you.
Thank you for your call.
No more, Madam Mayor.
Is that the last caller? Okay.
Yes, it is.
So I understand, Mr. Moreno, that you have an item you need to bring before us.
Yes, Madam Mayor. I'd like to add a subsequent needs item to the agenda tonight. We received a request after the agenda was posted and before tonight's meeting. And this request was actually from County Board of Supervisors President Catherine Barger, who passed her request through the California Contract Cities Association to contribute to the reward fund that has been established for information that leads to the arrest of the suspect in the shooting of 2 deputies this past Saturday night in Compton. So we would like to add this item to the agenda tonight as item number 8. Approval to place this item on the agenda for discussion tonight will require a 4/5 vote of the City Council. So I turn it back to you, Madam Mayor, for whatever your pleasure would be on this.
Okay, so we'll need a motion and a second to add this item to the agenda. If we do add it, we'll add it as the first item under new business. Do I have a motion to add this item?
Motion to add.
And seconded?
Yes.
Moved by Councilmember Guillen, seconded by Vice Mayor Olmos that the item be added. May I have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Aguayo,
Yes.
Councilmember Guillen,
Yes.
Councilmember Quer Stallings,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Olmos,
Yes.
Mayor Lemons.
Yes. We have a report.
Yes, ma'am. Moving into old business first. Our first item is receive and file report for proposed modifications for the 2020 holiday special events. As you know, the pandemic has really made us rethink things on how we present our very successful community-wide events for this upcoming holiday season. So we've had to pivot in many, many cases to provide hopefully a little bit of cheer through the community during the holiday season. And so with that, I'll turn it over to our Assistant Director of Community Services and Recreation, Yesenia.
Can we hold for just 1 second? Why are we going into this? I thought we just added the item. Oh, because
Yeah,
we're
you
doing
mentioned
old
under new
business.
business.
Okay.
Okay. All right,
Yes,
no problem.
okay. I'm with you now.
Okay. Thank you, John. Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the City Council. In January, we brought to the Council the proposed special events schedule for calendar year 2020. COVID-19 pandemic and the restrictions imposed by the LA County Department of Public Health to control the spread of the virus requires that we reevaluate these events to determine the possibility in this current environment. I'll be speaking with you this evening on the proposed modification for our fall and winter 2020 special events. We presented the following special event opportunities and challenges to our Park and Recreation Commission at their August 19th meeting, and they were in support of our proposed recommendations. However, please note that COVID-19 conditions change for the worse and more restrictive health orders are imposed. Our ability to offer these events in the proposed socially distanced formats could be affected. County health requirements will continue to be reevaluated and reviewed by staff as to the potential effect on the operation of these events. We began with our first event, which is Halloween Festival. We're recommending that the Halloween Festival operate as a drive-through event at either Paramount Park or Bianchi Theater parking lot. The revamped Halloween Festival drive-through event would work similar to the series of switchback lanes and we use for the food and face mask distribution event. Having a variety of theme booths along the vehicle route that will provide a visual entertainment for children and adults that will include masks, jack-o'-lanterns, Halloween lights, and display scary and funny characters, similar to the picture that you see here in our slide. We know that tradition of having candy is huge for our residents and is a must. So we would ask our volunteer partners to help fill individual bags of candy the week before that they will be passed out to the vehicles as they exit the event. To ensure the bags are sanitary, volunteers packing the bags will wear face masks, face shields, gloves, and will be temperature and symptom screened. Due to capacity, it will be while supplies last. We're also encouraging Bianchi Theater to show a family-friendly Halloween movie at their drive-in for those families that would like to go directly from our event into a drive-in theater. This will be our first come, first served basis. We are recommending the cancellation of a haunted house this year. Unfortunately, we could not identify a safe manner in which we could operate this portion of the event under the current restrictions. We will, however, use the components of the event in the theme booths along the vehicle route at the drive-through Halloween festival. In the month of October, we want to continue to show our Halloweenish costume contest to our residents. So we're going to engage our community through our social media platform. One would be a front porch decorating contest. Another one would be a virtual costume contest, along with a scavenger hunt, hiding 4 unique Halloween items at different city parks. This year falls on a Saturday. We're also recommending that the event be moved to Friday, October 30th. We are recommending the change in date to accommodate those families that would like to celebrate Halloween from the comfort of their own home during this stressful time and to avoid a potentially busy day for Bianchi Theater should we request the use of their parking lots. Moving on to our next event, which is our Veteran Celebration. We still wish to honor and recognize our Paramount veterans this year. However, this event will not be in person. We will be reaching out to those who are formerly or currently participating in the Boulevard of Heroes program, as well as those Paramount residents who are military veterans. We will be sending each veteran or active military resident a unique City of Paramount patriotic face mask and an exclusive Paramount veteran t-shirt. We will be distributing these items the week of our November 9th through the 13th with a greeting card from the City Council expressing their gratitude and thanks for the years of service. Continuing with our Senior Thanksgiving, which is scheduled on November 19th. This event will not be in person, but still bring Thanksgiving meal to our Paramount residents. In order to reach Paramount seniors, we will conduct social media outreach to increase the number of seniors participating in the event. We'll be working with local restaurants to provide seniors a boxed lunch. To help with the cost of distributing boxed lunches to more seniors, we will be asking for donations from our businesses and organizations once again, like we do every year. We will also be working to get donations for a mini pumpkin pie to go along with their boxed lunch. Along with the meal, we'll be providing our Paramount seniors with a fall-themed face mask. So we have lots of masks. Moving to the month of December, our tree lighting event. Under the current health order issued by the LA County Department of Public Health, live concerts, drive-in live concerts are not allowed. In the event the health order changes before the end of September and allows live concerts, we will attempt to operate this event as normal or as a drive-in event with the permission of Bianchi Theater as scheduled on December 2nd. It would be a socially distanced event. Working with the social media team, we will have a taped lighting of the city's holiday tree. It will be made with City Council and posted in our city social media and website. If current restrictions stay in place, unfortunately, this event will be canceled. If restrictions are lifted after September, this will not give us enough time to effectively book the necessary components to operate the event successfully, and the event will remain canceled. Moving on to photos with Santa. We're planning to host photos once again at the Community Center, which is scheduled for Saturday, December 5th and Sunday, December 6th. We will be adding a reservation system to control the amount of families that are using the building and waiting for photos. We will ask families to call once they arrive, wait in their cars, and we will have staff walk outside and escort them into the building when their photo time is going to start. We will decorate and create the Santa's workshop on the stage in the auditorium. We have risers on the floor in front of the stage for families to sit and create a socially distanced photo. At no point our guests will be able to climb on the stage to approach Santa. This year, unfortunately, photos will look very different and will look nothing like the picture you see on our screen. Santa and his helpers will be appropriately spaced as well. After the photo shoot, staff will escort the family outside of the building and sanitize the space and make it available to the next family. We do not encourage our residents, we do want to encourage our residents to come out. This will be the only opportunity that they'll be able to take a picture with Santa during this holiday season. Due to the safety measures in place, photo times will be limited. However, we'll be extending the times to allow as many residents for many reservations for us to be safely socially distanced. Moving on to our historic Santa train. We're proposing to modify the Paramount Santa train this year to a multi-day hybrid version of its normal operation. We are proposing the Santa train on the scheduled dates of December 7th through the 10th. However, to comply with restrictions on large gatherings, the Santa train will not be stopping to hand out candy canes and apples or to provide photos. The Santa train will drive its normal routes with this holiday cast of characters consisting of Santa, their Santa helpers and slowly drive through the community to provide holiday greetings. This version of the Santa train will only need limited staffing because there will not be an Alpha 1 crew. There's also no need for staff when it completes multiple stops each night, as this aspect of the train will not exist this year. Due to space limitations, unfortunately, commissioners will not be able to ride the train this year. Council will still ride the train, but not in bringing a guest with them. We're planning actually something different to start each night at 6 p.m. to allow more families to experience the Santa train driving through the neighborhood. We will not be stopping at any point during the route, so we do not create any large gatherings of people. The traditional apple and candy cane is not going to go away. We're going to associate it with our modified Breakfast with Santa event. And that brings us to Breakfast with Santa. We're proposing the traditional in-person Breakfast with Santa, which normally would have been that Saturday following the Santa train, be modified to a drive-through event on Friday, December 11th. This event will be held at Paramount Park or the Bianchi Theater parking lot, similar to what we proposed in 2020 Halloween. This event will be featured Christmas-themed displays for visual interest as the cars drive through. We will have the Santa train parked with Santa and his helpers on board, waving at participants. We will be asking for assistance from our Musa to help bag candy cane and apple like we do every year, which will be distributed to at the end of the day, which each person participating in the vehicles, following the same safety protocols that we're doing for Halloween candy. We will also be distributing bags of holiday crafts for the children, similar to what we have done in the past at Breakfast with Santa, since it's such a popular craft area. We will include instructions and a website link to videos featuring recreation staff demonstrating on how to complete the craft. Due to capacity and supply limitations, this event will be on the first-come, first-served basis. In addition to the modified special events schedule that I'm speaking with you this evening, we're planning to create a virtual recreation activities for each holiday that will go into our virtual recreation page on our city website. For example, we'll be recording videos of staff demonstrating miscellaneous crafts such as pumpkin carving, Thanksgiving recipes, and holiday crafts and bow making. Despite the current situations, we're dedicating to bringing the holiday spirit to our Paramount residents. While different this year, these are events a part of the fabric of our community and hope to bring some normalcy during these times. It is recommended the City Council provide staff feedback for the proposed modifications for the 2020 holiday special events. And this concludes my presentation, and I will be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Yesenia. Are there questions? I had a quick one. Please.
The veterans, what about the veterans that are not on your list? How are you going to reach out to the ones?
Exactly, yeah. Our hope is that through social media, we can reach out, obviously through our seniors as well. And then we do have a working list from previous years with the veterans, but definitely reaching out social media and saying, is your neighbor a veteran? Anybody that you know, send them our way, and we can communicate and get their contact information.
Okay, the same thing with the seniors.
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
Great job. Great creativity, you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next item, the proposed 2021 special event modifications to the special event. Just, do you want the approval of it?
We do have a staff presentation, and this is just to prepare us for next year. It's kind of hard to talk about 2021 when we haven't even had the holiday events for 2020, but we need to prepare for that, so we wanted to give you a brief report on that. So with that, we have one of our management analysts, Rebecca Bojorquez, who will handle the item. Rebecca?
Thank you, John. Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the City Council. Before you tonight is our department's city special and holiday events for the calendar year 2021. As you just heard, we had to modify our fall and holiday events to adhere to the county health orders. We're hoping that 2021 sees a return to normalcy. So with that, here are the proposed 2021 special event dates. Beginning of 2021 may still see some COVID restrictions in place. If that's the case, the Friday night markets would be impacted, but they can still be canceled. Our special events for the year do not begin till the end of March, so that leaves us plenty of time to plan if they do need to be revised. We are always looking for ways to be creative and innovative so that we are keeping our community safe, but providing a recreation outlet for our residents in a safe and healthy manner, of course. Our Friday night markets are scheduled for the first Friday of every month, unless the first Friday is a holiday. Easter Bunny photos, eco-friendly fair, pet fundraiser, National Day of Prayer, and Elks Memorial were all canceled in 2020, but will hopefully be making their return in 2021. Easter Bunny photos will be the weekend before Easter, Saturday and Sunday, March 27th and 28th. Eco-Friendly will take place a few days before Earth Day on Saturday, April 17th. The pet fundraiser is normally held towards the end of April and is scheduled for Friday, April 23rd. National Day of Prayer is held on the first Thursday in May, which will be May 6th. Elks Memorial will be held on Memorial Day, Monday, May 24th. Our Heritage Festival, Summer Concert Series, and Nights Under the Hay Tree were also canceled in 2020, but will hopefully be making their return in 2021. We are combining the June Friday Night Market into the Heritage Festival. Our Heritage Festival will be the first Saturday in June on June 5th. Our Summer Concert Series will run every Thursday from July 2nd to August 6th. However, the first and last concerts will be held on Fridays with the Friday Night Markets. It will be a concert and a street fair. Our Nights Under the Hay Tree are scheduled for Thursday, August 27th and Thursday, September 24th. There was a typo in the report, my apologies. For the Halloween Haunted House, it will be running October 29th and October 31st. With Halloween falling on a Sunday in 2021, we felt it might be difficult to get volunteers for both days on the weekend. And by keeping the Halloween Haunted House on a Friday, we're able to take some of the star kids. Halloween will be held on Sunday, October 31st. Veterans Celebration will be on the second Saturday in November, November 13th. Our beloved Senior Thanksgiving will be held on the Thursday before Thanksgiving, which is November 18th. The tree lighting ceremony will be the first Wednesday in December, which is December 1st. Santa photos will be the first weekend in December, Saturday and Sunday, December 4th and 5th. Santa train will follow and will be Monday through Thursday, December 6th through 9th. Breakfast with Santa will conclude our holiday events on Saturday, December 11th. Here is a list of our annual co-sponsored events for 2021. These were also all canceled in 2020, but will hopefully be making a return in 2021. We don't have a scheduled date yet for the Friends of the Library open house, but it does usually fall in the end of March, early April. Tepic Sister City's Dia de los Niños will be on Saturday, April 10th. The Heritage Parade, in conjunction with the Heritage Festival, will be on Saturday, June 5th. The Latinas Arts Festival will be held Friday through Sunday, July 23rd through the 25th. The Siaka Pet Fair will be Sunday, September 19th. And Dia de los Muertos, the Tepic event, will be on Saturday, October 16th. 2021 will hopefully see the introduction of 2 new events. We will be bringing these events back to you at a later date with more information. But tentatively, we are planning to have a back-to-school event on Thursday, August 12th. This will be a resource event that is aimed to provide important necessities to prepare needy Paramount families for the new school year. We will be reaching out to local elected officials, local businesses, and nonprofits to all help out with this event. And in November, we are planning to have a Shop Local event, which will be held on Small Business Saturday, November 27th. This event is aimed to promote shopping and business in Paramount. December 2021 will be a busy month filled with events and city meetings. We are proposing the following meeting changes. Move the first City Council meeting from Tuesday, December 7th, which conflicts with the train, to Tuesday, December 14th. We are also asking to move the Planning Commission meeting from Tuesday, December 14th to Thursday, December 16th. And traditionally, the December study session is canceled. So with that, it is recommended that the City Council approve or modify the proposed 2020 City Special and Holiday events, move the first City Council meeting in December, and cancel the December 2021 City Council study session. That concludes my presentation, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions? Now we need a motion.
I move that item.
Second. Moved by Vice Mayor, almost seconded by Councilmember Aguayo. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Aguayo.
Yes.
Councilmember Guillen.
Yes.
Councilmember Cuellar Stallings.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Olmos.
Yes.
Mayor Lemons.
Yes. Okay, we'll move to the item that was added to the agenda for
Yes,
the staff
Madam Mayor.
report.
As I mentioned earlier this evening, Madam Mayor and Council, on Saturday, September 12th, 2 deputies were shot multiple times by an unknown suspect. The deputies were on duty, sitting in their patrol vehicle at the Blue Line station on patrol in the city of Compton. Both deputies were immediately transported to St. Francis Hospital, where they underwent surgery and are currently recovering from severe injuries to multiple parts of their body. On Sunday, the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors established a $100,000 reward for information leading to the arrest of the unknown suspects in this incident. Then on Monday, we received an email from the California Contract Cities Association, which we belong to, that had a request from LA County Board of Supervisors President Catherine Barger asking for cities to contribute to the reward fund. Again, we received this request on Monday afternoon yesterday, 3 days after the agenda was posted and before tonight's meeting. Today around noon, we inquired with the California Contract Cities Association as to how many cities have committed to contributing to the fund, and we were told that the cities of Lakewood, Cerritos, Industry, and Palmdale all have added $10,000 each to the fund. Additionally, other cities in our area that are considering making a donation to the fund include Norwalk, Bellflower, and La Mirada. Additionally, the transportation agency, Metro, has donated $25,000 to the reward fund. I also checked in with Supervisor Janice Hahn's office about cities adding to the reward fund, and the staff member I spoke with said that the supervisor would welcome any further donations to the reward fund. Honoring this request and contributing to the fund is a very worthwhile cause that should be considered by the council, given that the Sheriff's Department is definitely our law enforcement agency and our partners. Supporting their efforts to track down the suspects will show our solidarity with them in this time of uncertainty. If the City Council does authorize this request, staff will fund this grant through the community promotion budget and will adjust this line item at the mid-year budget review. Therefore, we are recommending that the City Council authorize the contribution of $10,000 to the reward fund established by the County of Los Angeles for information leading to the arrest of the suspect in the shooting of two Los Angeles County Sheriff's deputies. And I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Do I have a motion on the item?
I motion the item to be approved.
Second from you? Okay. So it was moved by Councilmember Guillen, correct?
Where?
Cuellar moved it. And Aguayo seconded it?
Yes.
I'm sorry, you can't hear too good.
Okay.
Because I
I have to shout.
apologize.
Raise our hand.
I'm going to have to raise my hand.
Raise our hand.
Raise my hand.
Okay. Motion by
Okay,
Cuellar, seconded by Aguayo. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Aguayo,
Yes.
Councilmember Guillen,
Yes.
Councilmember Cuellar Stallings,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Olmos,
Yes.
Mayor Lemons.
Yes. Okay, we're going to move on to receive and file item holiday decorating contest.
Yes, Madam Mayor, sticking with the holiday theme that we've brought to you tonight, we're bringing to you a proposal for a holiday home decorating contest. This was an idea that we received from Vice Mayor Olmos, and we've developed rules and guidelines for a program to spread cheer throughout the community, as well as some competition among people that love to decorate their homes. So we want to hear your thoughts and ideas about this, if we're on the right path or if you guys want us to add stuff or take it away. So with that, I will turn it over to our planning director, John Carver, who will handle the item. John?
Thank you, John. Madam Mayor, members of the council. This item is a request to establish a holiday decorating contest. This contest would be an opportunity for residents to compete in a friendly competition during the holiday season in December and would be a fun community activity. The holiday decorating contest would be advertised on the city's social media pages, in print publications, and at local businesses. Locations of homes that have been decorated would be published to allow residents to visit. Applications would be available at city facilities and online. And to allow more time to decorate, the dates have been adjusted from those in the agenda report to the following. Applications would be submitted by December 7th. Decorations would be completed by December 14th. And then judging would be completed by December 21st. Judges would be selected from different city departments, a service club member, a Chamber of Commerce representative, and a local pastor. 3 categories are proposed for the contest: most original, best use of holiday lights, and best holiday scene. Decorations would be judged on curb appeal, That is, how attractive are the decorations from the street, creativity and innovation, how the imagination is used to create a display, use of space, how the yard and home are used, use of lights, how the display incorporates different mediums of light, and finally, cohesiveness of display, how the displays show togetherness. Winners would receive the following awards at a city council meeting: a lawn sign, a certificate signed by the mayor, a $100 gift card to a local business, and a photo of winning displays would be shown on social media and in print publications. And it's recommended that you provide feedback to us, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
I think this is
Feedback,
an awesome
questions,
idea.
Comments?
I love it.
I have a question, actually. I think it's an awesome idea. I mean, I love this type of thing. But I remember when the city did that, like the Beautiful Home Award, and I don't know if it was just the same homes that were entered, but it was usually the same homes that received that. So I'm pretty sure it's already been looked at, but I mean, it'd be great to see this become a city tradition, but how would we ensure that if there are different residents, submitting applications, that maybe, it isn't necessarily always the same homes. And it's tough because sometimes there's people that are just really, really creative and good at it, but I think it also has a potential to discourage some people from it.
Well, as a point of interest maybe for you, whenever people submitted applications for the Beautification Award, everybody who submitted an application received the award, as long as we didn't go out there and it was a joke. I think once or twice people submitted pictures of something you certainly wouldn't want to put an award on. But
Code enforcement problems.
so it just
That's what they were.
Didn't
They
have
were
to do with evaluating them and picking special ones. It had to do with people submitting.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So it wasn't preferential. It's just that not a lot of people turned in applications.
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I have one question for you. The thing of it is, what we need to also consider is, I think nowadays when people are doing the house decorations, they're incorporating music.
Mm-hmm.
So we might have to have some type of rules or regulations about what time the music could be played, because you don't want that music to be playing all the way till midnight too. So that's something to consider, because
Sure.
music is a new thing. Those
Absolutely.
lights.
Would that be covered already under ordinances,
Buzzkill.
or do we need to add it to this to make sure that
we can add it as one of the guidelines. What we'll produce is like rules and guidelines, and make sure that the noise is covered under the municipal code. We'll actually cite that.
So I just like to say that I think it's a great idea. I would like to see a little more enthusiasm, John Carver.
Sorry.
That was a very non-enthusiastic presentation. I want you to say, I want the community's involvement. I want to see effort and creativity. But I think it's a great idea. I think if we could, we're asking this whole city to participate. I think we're going to need a little more than 3 gifts or prizes or awards. If we're asking a whole city, there's a lot of neighbors that get really involved. We did something like this in my neighborhood last year, and there was so much involvement, it was hard to pick. So I would imagine that if you're asking for a whole city, to pick 3 is going to be very difficult. So since we're saving so much money on canceling everything else pretty much, I think we can up the
what do you think
ante.
about like the top 10?
Yeah, something like that.
Or even
That would
maybe
be
a
great.
certificate for participating.
Participation
At a much
award?
lower, much lower. So do like 10 at 100, and then if
for
you
participation.
participate,
Yeah, I mean, we
get
can
some
get creative.
coupons for one of the restaurants or
Yeah,
something.
you could do
Could have
print the
done.
T-shirts that say, I participated
participated.
at my house
Participated in
winner,
the tree light.
Christmas awardee for 2021.
There you go.
Yeah, and I want to see John Carver in a costume knocking on businesses, asking for donations.
The only concern I had in reading it was the time frame. The
We
judging,
expanded it from what was in the agenda report, so it's now December 14th is the deadline to decorate your home,
Okay.
which is the Monday, 2 Mondays before Christmas.
Yeah, because I think it was December 6th or something.
Yeah, in the
before.
report, you're right, and you had Mayor Limsey, you mentioned that to me yesterday. So we made that last week because looking at the calendar, you're absolutely right. It was a little bit too short, so we expanded it to 1 week later, so that gives people more time, at least 2 weekends in December to.
Mine
decorate
usually
their home.
goes up the day before Christmas, so I won't be receiving any awards, but that's great. Thanks. Okay, so it's a receive and file item, so we're going to move on to resolution number 20028.
Yes, Madam Mayor, we did this last year, and we are hoping to declare October 7th Clean Air Day in Paramount. This mainly focuses on what we as employees and what our residents can do to help clean the air. Things like ride a bike, take public transit, or plant trees on that day. So with that, I'll turn it over to Mr. Carver with an enthusiastic report coming up about the Clean Air Day.
Thank you, John. Yes, so this is a very exciting item. I'm happy to present this to you this evening. This item is a resolution in support of Clean Air Day, which is on October 7th. Clean Air Day is a project from the Coalition for Clean Air and is a statewide effort to improve community health and sustainability efforts. This will be the second year that the city has recognized Clean Air Day. Oh, apologize. To advertise Clean Air Day, we will utilize social media and the city's website to encourage things such as taking the Clean Air Day pledge, report smoking vehicles, report strong odors, set home air conditioners at 78 degrees or higher, replace HVAC air filters annually, bike or walk to do one errand once a week. The city will participate with the Chamber of Commerce to promote Clean Air Day, and the city will continue its progress on the bike trail. And these are two important numbers. The first one is 1-800-CUT-SMOG, and that's to report odors, smoke, dust, and other contaminants. And if you see a smoking vehicle, it's 1-800-END-SMOG. And it's recommended you adopt Resolution 20028, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you, Mr. Carver, for that incredibly exciting.
Thank you.
You mustered a lot of enthusiasm, and we're so proud of you. Thank you. Okay, discussion?
What day of the week is that?
That
I don't have a calendar in front of me.
I believe it's a Wednesday.
Wednesday,
Because
right.
October 6th is our council meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it was a Saturday where all the families would
Oh,
come out.
no, it's not.
Okay. Thank you.
Questions, comments? If not, motion?
I do. I do. I would just like to, like I mentioned last year, send a letter to the businesses and remind them also that it's Clean Air Day here in
Yes.
Paramount, to use best business practices and be mindful that we are a community that wants clean air, and for them to partake in that. And then I guess on another note, I'll ask about the gas smells that we were experiencing. So that's all I wanted to include the businesses in that as well.
Well, why don't you go ahead while we're on the topic of clean air? John, do you want to report on that?
On the gas odor that was emanating from Compton?
Yeah.
Was there a specific question or just a review on?
Just give a general
Sure,
report
sure.
right now, and then.
So yeah, we did start to receive calls, as well as a couple of council members received some calls on Thursday afternoon about an odor emanating from the west. It was just like a natural gas odor. So we contacted LA County Fire. We contacted the gas company. There was a lot of, we don't know, a lot of finger pointing on both directions. And in fact, Station 31 at the time had said that they hadn't received any calls yet at the time, but they did receive some later on that day for it. As it turned out to be, it was a development going on in the county unincorporated area of Compton, Rancho Dominguez. And it was during the development, they were cleaning up a natural gas well that was on site. And they were pouring a kind of a neutralizer, if you will, onto the surface called mercaptan. And apparently this kind of neutralizer is so powerful in odor that it can, if it gets caught by the wind, carry it very far. We were getting calls as far away as Cerritos saying, and Buena Park, saying, is something going on in your end of and we were puzzled by it too. But later we have found out all this information about it. So AQMD was called out as well, and the business is receiving 2 citations for this, for releasing that odor in the air.
Do we know how long it had been in the air? Because I know I had got a complaint like the day that information came out. 2 days prior, somebody told me at 4 o'clock in the morning it had been so hot they had their windows open and had to close their windows in the heat because that smell was so potent.
Wow.
And I said I didn't know at that time, 2
Sure.
days prior. So do we know how long it had been leaking?
We don't. We just found out about it on Thursday when we started to get the calls, and all the information that we read is that it started on Thursdays when they poured the neutralizer on there.
I just want to make sure we, get a follow-up on it, find out exactly what happened, because that's how the gas leak happened in Aliso,
Yeah.
where it had been leaking for quite some time, and they didn't smell it, and that's why they didn't know that it, had been leaking. So I just want to make sure we do a follow-up on that.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I know for myself, I happened to have left my house at 2:15, and when I walked out the door, I smelled a faint odor, and I had been in the backyard an hour earlier and didn't smell anything. And by the time I hit Garfield at 2:30, I actually called Adriana to say, "Hey, are you getting reports of a gas smell, because it's just overwhelming?" And so,
very
yeah, I'm
pungent,
not quite sure what it started happening, but I can tell you that in my neighborhood, which is closest to the 105, no odors around 1, but by 2, it was
You can
permeating
really,
the whole city.
really
Yeah.
smell it. Yeah, it was
So
really
I'm
bad.
not sure either. Okay, so resolution on declaring October 7th Clean Air Day. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Go second.
Okay, I have a motion from Councilmember Guillen and a second from Councilmember Cuellar Stalling. Can we have a roll call, please?
Councilmember Aguayo,
Yes.
Councilmember Guillen,
Yes.
Councilmember Cuellar Stallings,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Olmos,
Yes.
Mayor Lemons.
Yes. Okay, we have the City of Paramount updated Title V plan.
Yes, Madam Mayor and Council. Although we don't operate a transit system anymore, we still receive transit money from Metro that we pass along to Long Beach Transit, as well as our taxi partners, to provide transit services to our residents. So with the use of this fund, it automatically triggers a requirement that this City Council adopt a Title VI plan. So with that, I will turn it over to our Community Service and Recreation Director, Dave Johnson, who will tell us what exactly a Title VI plan is. Dave?
All right, thank you, John. Mayor and City Council members. As John mentioned, we're a subrecipient of Federal Transit Administration funds obtained through our LA County Metropolitan Transit Authority, and we are required to have in place a Title VI plan that provides direction to the city to protect against discrimination in the development and operation of our transit programs. For our city, this would include programs, as John mentioned, like our fixed route program operated by Long Beach Transit, and our taxi-based dial ride and medical transit programs operated by Yellow Cab. In 2014, the City Council did approve the city's initial Title VI plan. Updates are required every 2 to 3 years. So we did take to the council last in 2017 to have the Title VI plan updated, and council approved it. Metro staff have coordinated with us to update our Title VI plan to include some administrative updates to the forms and process. And prior to and since the adoption of the initial Title VI plan, the city has received no formal complaints of discrimination with regards to our transit program. The attached plan has been approved by Metro's Civil Rights Compliance Administrator for Title VI and does require City Council's approval. It is recommended that the City Council approve the updated Title VI plan. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Questions? Okay, can I have a motion for the updating of the Title VI plan?
So move.
Second.
Was that moved by Councilmember Guillen? No,
Member
this way again.
Stallings.
This must be my bad ear.
Mayor Stallings and
Can't
Yellow.
hear you
Okay, I
guys
have to
at
say,
all.
Peggy!
Don't make me look bad. Speak up. Okay,
I'm
moved
gonna
by
have to
Councilmember
holler.
Cuellar Starling, seconded by Aguayo. Can we have a motion, please?
Councilmember Aguayo,
Yes.
Councilmember Guillen,
Yes.
Councilmember Cuellar Stallings,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Olmos,
Yes.
Mayor Lemons.
Yes. Next, we have a report on the City of Paramount purchasing policy and bidding procedures.
Yes, Madam Mayor, this is an educational item that we're bringing before you. We started doing educational items a few years ago, and it just kind of telling you a little bit about what we do and how we do it and why we do it. The last educational item we brought before you involved how our city engineer evaluates the installation of crosswalks and signal lights, and this was done back in February. So tonight, the education that we're going to bring to you is our purchasing policy, and along with it, a bidding procedures. So this is kind of going to describe to you what we go through when we purchase things or when we initiate a project and the steps that we have to take. And all this is governed by a policy that was adopted by the City Council. and it is currently part of our municipal code, and it is also based on state code. So with that, I'll turn it over to our finance director, Karina Lamb, who is here to educate you. Karina?
Thank you, John. Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the council. I am very excited to review this purchasing policy with you. Seriously, all of us are very much haunted by this policy, and we want to show it to you. A city purchasing policy has been developed since the 70s. It was last amended in 2011 by an ordinance. The policy is intended to set authority, responsibility, and limit for acquisition of goods and services while still maintaining efficiency in operations. The policy sets procedures for different purchases based on the type of good and service and the related dollar amount. For purchases of $100 or less, petty cash is allowed. For purchases over $100 but less than $2,500, petty cash is not allowed. Payments have to be made to vendors via check request. For purchases between $2,500 and less than $25,000, 3 informal bids are required. More detail will follow after this slide. For purchases $25,000 and above, 3 formal bids and City Council approval are required. Again, more detail will follow. For procurement between $2,500 up to $25,000, 3 informal bids are required, and the bid information has to be submitted to finance as backup for payment request. In general, purchases shall be awarded to the lowest responsible vendor, consistent with the quality, quantity, and delivery expectation. For purchases $25,000 and over, formal bidding requirement applies. First, notices are to be sent to qualified vendors no less than 10 calendar days before bid opening. Purchases shall be awarded by City Council to the lowest responsible bidder except as otherwise directed by City Council. The policy also covers bidding exemption for certain purchases. For example, for unique commodity or service or products of specific name brand, make or model, these can be exempt from bidding. An example would be our security equipment purchase. Over the years, City has been adding and enhancing security features citywide. It's important to keep the system compatible with the existing system. Therefore, we didn't go out to bid, but did come to the council for approval of contracts. Another exemption is when we do not get sufficient bids, which it happens sometimes. Finally, under emergency situation, certain purchases can only be exempt from bidding or council approval. The policy allows for exemption to keep the efficiency of our operations and prevent interruption of necessary city services or to safeguard life, property, or public health and welfare. One great example was the COVID-19 mitigation supplies that we purchased, including face masks, sanitizers, and wipes. Next is professional technical services. This can be exempt from bidding as well. Professional services are treated differently than goods or non-professional services. They are defined as services provided by a specially trained and experienced person or firm. They can include but not limited to areas of accounting, architecture, engineering, law, or other matters involving specialized expertise or unique skills. For this reason, contracts are not awarded solely on the basis of cost. City manager or designee has the ability to enter into contracts up to $40,000. However, any amount exceeds $40,000 requires council approval. Once again, services shall not be awarded only based on cost, but based on demonstrated competence, qualifications, fairness, and reasonableness of the cost of service. A recent example was the award of contract to MIG for preparation of the housing element, health and safety elements, and environmental justice element of the Paramount General Plan. This is one of the best firms that has the required specialized skill set and proven track record to reach out to the public and handle a sophisticated project. In this case, we obtained council approval for award of contract without going out to bid. Wanted to point out, even though professional contracts are not required to go out to bid, in many cases, we still do. Recently, Council approved an award of contract with I. Bailey, who serves as our audit firm. It's considered a professional contract. While bidding process not required, formal proposals were requested from 5 audit firms of neighboring cities, and a notice also was posted on city website. After careful review, the City Council approved the qualified firm with a reasonable pricing. In addition, the policy addresses prohibited transactions. For example, splitting contracts to avoid a bidding process is prohibited. Unlawful transactions are not allowed. City officers and employees who participate in a selection process when a financial interest exists is certainly prohibited. This is outlined in Government Code 1090. Same Government Code 1090 also applies to City Council where a financial interest exists with one of the council members and we're not allowed to enter into contracts. The purchasing function is a critical one to any organizations, and Paramount is no exception. However, a delicate balance has to be maintained to keep the efficiency of our operations. Otherwise, it can be very difficult to implement and consume excessive amount of time and causing delays in projects or causing operational hiccups. Yet a policy cannot be too lax to compromise the necessary checks and balances. With that said, we believe the policy we are reviewing tonight is an effective and prudent policy and has been adopted by the Council and reviewed by auditors during their annual financial audits. This wraps up my report, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Questions?
I do.
Please, go ahead.
Can we elaborate a little bit on the ability to purchase things with petty cash, $100, $2,500? What's the check and balance system for that that's in place?
Yeah, for every purchase, we have a person who made a purchase. We also have an authorized signer to sign off the purchase.
Okay, so then somebody purchases something, you have an authorized signer, and then it goes to who?
Goes to a supervisor or authorized signer of the department to sign off, and a receipt have to be shown. All that is backed up as part of a purchase.
And that's already in place?
Yes.
Okay, great, thank you.
Rena, I just have one question too.
Mm-hmm.
When you talked about formal bids, now is there a format when the bids get submitted? Like, do you ask for? Is it just like a quote, or does it come with backup when they're submitting their bids?
It depends on what it is. In Public Works, they do a lot more formal bids.
Okay.
At the time when we did the auditing firm, it was a formal request for proposal, and their proposal has to follow the format that we listed on the proposal.
Okay.
And they would send in their own backup to back up what
So
they proposed.
each formal bid is different.
It
Meaning
can
what
be
we're
different.
receiving is different. Okay.
Anything else? Okay. Thank you for that report. Okay, we're going to move into comments and committee reports from council members. And Ms. Aguayo, we're going to start with you, Councilmember Aguayo.
Okay. Just keeping with everything, I think, I see a lot of people out now more than when the pandemic, of course, first started. And I think we need to be reminded constantly of, there is still this out there. And we still need to be cautious just of our surroundings, each other. The mask thing, I feel like sometimes it is uncomfortable still, but I feel like we're more used to it, and it's becoming part of our daily life. But just for everybody to really be careful with that. I keep going back to the holiday schedule and everything that Parks and Recs put together. I mean, not gonna lie, a little sad about certain things not happening, but I mean, really, what an amazing job of thinking outside of the box to bring, a little bit of what is paramount to the residents. So, I mean, really, thank you for that. And to some of the department heads that I've actually met with already, thank you for the extra minutes. It hasn't been 30 minutes with anybody yet. It's been great, though. Thank you for that. It's really been a blessing to get to know everyone on a more personal basis. So thank you. I am looking forward to, I have a couple people still that morning you now, it has not been 30 minutes with anybody. We've tried, but it's not happening. So letting you know now. Other than that, just have a blessed night, everyone.
Thank you.
I'm going to move to you, Vice Mayor Olmos.
Thank you, Mayor Lemons. Couple committee reports I'd like to bring you guys up to date with. Just a reminder that our Contract Cities Association is having our board meeting tomorrow night, Wednesday at 6 p.m. Guest speaker will be LA County Fire Chief Daryl Osby. So if you guys are going to be attending, it'd probably be a great presentation, give updates on what's going on with the fires. The other committee report I'd like to report on is the ad hoc committee. The school district will be actually doing a census event on September, I want to say the 29th. It's on a Friday. And they will be doing it at the school district main office. And they'll be doing, like, for any family that comes and fills out the census, they'll be getting tacos. So they're putting this plan together. I think that was really great. And they've asked the city to collaborate. I know the assistant city manager and manager will be working on that. So that's great. The other thing I really wanted to express was actually last night I did listen to the school board meeting last night because I wanted to hear the presentation on paper. And I have to say I was extremely, what's the word? I was impressed with the services. I wish I can use that for college right now. But it's a 24-hour, 7 days a week tutoring service for the kids if the parents are tired and maybe they just don't know how to do algebra. They basically, if the kid needs to get on for chemistry, a chemistry tutor will jump on and assist the student with questions, essays. I mean, I think the board did approve it last night. They did approve it, and we will be collaborating with them on costs for that. So again, that is something that, again, I think that City of Paramount has always talked about, our collaboration with the school district and ensuring that our students are receiving the resources that they need. So kudos to the city on that. The other thing, Public Safety Department, very excited about our virtual neighborhood watch. Residents, please, it's on social media. It was posted today. This is an opportunity to have some discussion on property and vehicle safety. Again, we cannot host neighborhood watch meetings in the community, but we're bringing it to you on Zoom. So please look out for that. I think the date is September 23rd, 6:30 p.m. Thank you, Public Safety, for putting that together. My final comment. Again, it's just I just want to say I'm deeply praying for all the families that are involved with fires right now. There's a lot going on. And again, my prayers go out to the 2 deputies that were involved in the shooting on Saturday. That's all I have, ma'am.
Thank you. Councilmember Cuellar Stallings.
Oh, well, ditto to what Vice Mayor almost said about the school district. School district's really working hard and trying to provide all the services for our students, and I'm very proud of them. And I'm going to make sure that my granddaughters use that tutoring program. And also, just want to thank John. I called him and asked him that I had a family that was asking about distributing more masks, and he recommended to go to the substation. And I think they went, and they said they got a couple of them, and they were very pleased. Thank you, John, for that. And thank you, Public Safety Department. My prayers go out to the 2 deputies that were hurt, and as having a son-in-law, former deputy, also really close to my heart. As soon as I was notified, I seen and I heard on social media, took together with my granddaughters, and we prayed for the families. And I'm continually, on a daily basis, praying for them, for their safety, of every deputy, every police officer, every fire man. What you give back to the community is unbelievable, and I thank you. I thank you from the bottom of my heart and the behalf of my family. And last, I have a daughter that lives in Hawaii, and she's not in the best health, and it's going to be her birthday on Thursday. And I just want to shout out, happy birthday, Tricia. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Councilmember Guillen.
Well, you ladies talk a lot, so I'm going to make it short. I just want to also say that, it's heavy on my heart about the 2 deputies who were ambushed. I don't want to get too deep into it because, believe it or not, my little black heart has emotions, and I don't want to get too into it. But my heart goes out to them and to the families. And with that being said, and the $10,000 we're contributing to the reward, I just want to say that by us doing this, I can say, and I say this with confidence, that it doesn't diminish from any of us saying that, we're pro law enforcement and we don't care about, Black Lives Matter. And when somebody wants to have us give a simplistic answer, it's a complicated subject. And so I think all of us have given a joint statement that said, of course, Black Lives Matter. But if you want to talk about the movement and the 6 points of issue that are brought up in that, then that's something that is more in depth than any one of us can speak on the dais. So what I want to say is, you can support law enforcement and still stand against racism. And I think we're all in alignment with that. So my prayers go out to the families and the officers. I'm really praying for a speedy recovery. And then on a little softer note, I want to say, we are Paramount and we are all in this together. And I just want to address a couple of the letters that we received about the regulations for the lunch trucks or the food trucks. And I understand the concerns, but we do need to have regulations in order for our enforcement to be able to make sure that everybody is being regulated. So if we don't have ordinances, we can't regulate. So I just wanted to make that clear. And because we are all in this together, businesses have to work together, and so do people who want to do other types of business in Paramount. We all need to work together. But I do understand your concerns, and I think the way we have addressed these ordinances, we did take all of that into account. And with that, I'll just leave it there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments. I wanted to address a couple of items that came up tonight from one of the callers who spoke to us regarding homelessness and education. I just wanted to talk about our investment there. We have great success with our Paramount homeless issue, and it's important that you know that we have staff dedicated to this issue and resources dedicated to this issue. It's a very human problem, and the city of Paramount cares deeply, and has invested greatly in it. As for education, the city has a very unique partnership with our schools. The PEP program provides scholarships, and the city's STAR program provides after-school tutoring at school campuses. In addition, we just recently voted to split the cost of the expense to the district for tutoring or technology for our students, whatever needed. So the city of Paramount is deeply invested in education and doing whatever we can and providing whatever resources we can to help the district. The next thing I want to address, I'm a bit reluctant to. I think that Councilmember Guillen actually said it very well when she said that racism is a very complicated issue, and that to address it in a few minutes from the dais is a tough thing to do. You also risk the possibility of things being taken out of context and a soundbite happening or a misunderstanding. But with that said, I'm going to do my best to put something on the record. I personally feel that the city's support of the Unity in the Community Committee speaks directly to our commitment to address racial injustice in the city of Paramount. And I want to do my best to make my personal stance clear. I believe from the depths of my soul that Black lives do matter. I have read the organization's mission information, and I support those beliefs and those goals, where, by the way, it does state it should be a given that all lives matter. I do believe that the specific agenda that some people want to attribute to this organization is incorrect, and I do not believe in or agree with any non-peaceful protests. I believe nothing is more powerful in bringing about change than honest dialogue that is combined with actions that the community supports and agrees on. It is our goal and our hope for the Unity in the Community Committee and the work they are doing to make these changes come about. I also want to give my thanks and my prayers to the firefighters who are out there doing such a tough job, and to the deputies who have been caught up in all of this dissension that's in our nation right now, and that we all need to be praying for a positive outcome in the elections that can make a difference in the hearts and minds of people. Thank you very much. John, you have staff reports?
Yes, Madam Mayor, just a few comments, some of which were already covered by council member, but just want to touch on them. Vice Mayor almost did mention the PUSD board meeting last night where they did approve the tutoring program. The city council did provide money for that to the tune of $125,000, 100 of which will be covered under the CARES Act money, and 25 of which will be covered under our STAR program. As you know, we're not running a full STAR program, so there is savings in that account that we are using for this tutoring program. It was just mentioned right now. Oh, and by the way, we will be coming back to you with a memorandum of understanding for approval at the October 6th meeting with the school district for that money to be used for the tutoring program. As Mayor Lemons just mentioned, the Unity of the Community, their next discussion is scheduled for October 3rd. The deadline to submit questions and comments to the committee is September 25th. So for those of you out there that do want to provide a comment or ask a question to the committee, please do so by September 25th, and they will be reviewing those for review. To answer. The census, yes, we have 2 weeks left, so this is the big push coming up here. We do have some events planned in addition to what Vice Mayor almost mentioned that's happening at the school district. We do have our caravans that are going out on Thursdays, the next 2 Thursdays, to different hard-to-count neighborhoods, and we'll end up at a park. And we hope to give away prizes to those that come and meet us and take their census. It only takes 10 minutes, and there's 12 questions, so please get it done. It's super important. We also have a postcard that will be going out in the mail, or that already went out, and then we will also have something in the Around Town. And the Around Town should be design complete, should be by this week, and it'll go out in everybody's mailbox by next week. Some of the 2 highlights, once again, is the census, Unity of the Community, and the street racing ordinance that the council just approved. So that's in there. I mentioned in a Friday memo item to you that we did get coverage in the Long Beach Press Telegram for the street racing ordinance. And I understand that prompted the city of Bellflower last night to move forward with their ordinance for street racing. So that's what prompted them to do it, was the article, and knowing that we took a stance on that. So that was very good. Regarding COVID, we, as Councilmember Cuellar Stallings mentioned, we do have masks at the station still. Those are masks that are still left over from our initial mass distribution that we did in April. So for those of you that still need them, or if you, council, know of any of your constituents or residents that need them, please direct them to the station. Speaking of COVID, we have been challenged with monitoring activities at the parks. We have a lot of people that are misunderstanding what the rules are as far as organized sports. Organized sports are still not allowed at parks. They can have conditioning and strength training for youth groups, but we are seeing competitive soccer, competitive football, and those things are not allowed. So we keep having to go on and remind folks and tell them to please leave. It's not allowed. So just know that if you do get complaints about that, let us know. We are on it as best as we can, but we are getting many, many groups that are appearing at our park. So
That it?
and with that, that's it.
Thank you. I think, too, you also mentioned to me when we spoke that the city of La Mirada, was it, asked for a copy of the ordinance?
Yes, they did. Yeah.
For street
So,
racing.
For street,
so
racing for sure. So.
I think everybody's afraid they're going to move from one city to the next, so they want to get the rules on the books. Okay, if there's nothing else, we stand adjourned to October 6th, 2020 at 6 p.m. Thank you, everyone.